Hey bunnies, welcome to Eliza. This is chapter 2, episode 1. Let's see what this ONEMIND conference is all about. He looks a little haggard. I wonder if he's okay.
It all begins with data. You collect all the data you can. From base level metrics like heart rates, body temperature, blood pressure, to higher order metrics like hand movement, head movement, gaze aversion. If the client lets you, you'll want to pull from their digital life too, their message histories and email, their search histories, and online behavior. It's all potentially valuable.
Potentially. So what you're saying is gather all the information about a person, like Orwell style, just because you can.
Then you compare the client's responses to relevant data from thousands of other clients and build a model of the client's psychological state. This approach has worked well so far. Eliza is still the best and most advanced version, but that's just my personal opinion. For those of you who don't know, I was the team lead and chief psychologist for the Eliza project at Skanda for a number of years.
Taking credit for all of it, I see. Yeah, no.
Now, even though this is a proven approach,
I mean, like,
two weaknesses
he's
I
not
want to
wrong,
highlight.
but like he didn't say that there weren't other people. He just said he was the chief lead, person, which I guess he was.
One is the data I was just talking about. You're completely dependent on that. Collect as much as you can, sure, but it's important to keep in mind that you can have all the data in the world and still not understand why things work the way they do. And that's important for us to note, because if we have something that works, but we're not sure why, then what do we actually understand about ourselves?
That's a good point.
The crucial step after data is the model. The data needs to be used to validate a model. If you can't make a model, you're finished.
Another good point.
That sounds like basic, obvious science to you. It is. But I was surprised to find out just how many people from the tech sector don't think this way.
That's a very basic level of... You learn that in the first year of any game design, computer science subject. Surely like a senior programming course would also have that as one of their first things. So I don't think that's correct. Unless, I don't know, these game designers forgot about it.
I suppose you don't need to understand why something works in order to make it into a product and sell it. Obviously, though, if you had mastery of the underlying details, you'd be able to adjust the process and potentially make it work even better.
The audience is getting impatient. Clearly they're expecting something big. What are they expecting?
While I'm discussing modeling, many of the startups trying to address mental health right now are completely ignoring the insights provided by the field of traditional psychology. They do so at their own peril. Many of you know already, but as a brief personal aside, I was a professor of psychology before I joined the tech world. I'm continually stunned at how little the tech heads know or even care about the hundreds of years of psychological research that has gone on in my field.
Yeah, that's a big mistake. If you're making something to deal with something, you would want to look at the actual research beforehand.
That's something I can talk about at length, perhaps another time. For now, I'll move on to the other weakness I mentioned. This is the real one, the big one. It's treatment.
Yeah, and that's the one that we're having struggles with right now.
A system like Eliza can tell what's wrong with a client to a certain level of accuracy, but it doesn't quite know how to turn that into a comprehensive treatment plan. It can suggest therapeutic programs and activities, and soon it might even issue its own prescriptions without having to go through a doctor or a psychiatrist. Well, as long as the FDA continues to look upon us favorably.
Ha!
But those are blunt instruments compared to what I'm going to talk about next.
Maybe this is it. Is he going to go where I think he is?
Many of you know there's a technology still in its infancy called direct stimulation.
Are we talking like sci-fi electroshock therapy?
For those of you who haven't heard of it, direct stimulation is a way of creating sensations within the brain with targeted electrical impulses.
That's literally sci-fi shock therapy.
Imagine an augmented reality headset, but instead of working on your
Right?
eyes, it stimulates the brain in such a way as to induce a specific dream.
I guess not. I
A
guess
spring meadow, for example.
if you're directing impulses rather than just like shocking it.
This sounds fantastical, I know, but progress on this technique has been occurring faster than you think. We're actually quite close to a workable demonstration model.
I don't know when this game came out, but just a few weeks ago, didn't Gabe Newell say that that he reckons we're like 7 to 9, was it, years off being able to actually plug your brain into a computer? Like the early stages of that is.
Possible? Well, first of all, we only suggest an overall feeling. Your own brain does most of the work, just as it does in your dreams. It fills in all of the visual details using its own set of memories and expectations.
Okay, there is something I gotta talk about for that. The one thing in games that you don't notice from VR games is you don't feel things. Like you don't feel the wind, you don't feel the stuff when you're moving and stuff like that. And you don't smell any of the things nearby. If you could stimulate your, I forget what those sensors are called, but your nose sensors to be able to sense, like pick up smells, if you could figure out how to make your nose pick up smells, I think VR would take a whole new level. Because that's pretty much like, a lot of people say it does feel like you're in a game when you're playing VR. I haven't played VR games, I don't own it because it's way too expensive at the moment, but a lot of people have said it feels like you're in a game, but there are things that it feels like you're in the world, but there are things that like take you out of it, and a lot of those are game breaking, like not game breaking, but like bugs that make you feel like you're not in control of your body, like you're in a suit, you know? But a lot of those things would be fixed if you had the tactile sensors and the nose sensors. It would be almost indistinguishable, except that you can feel a weight on your eyes with the headset and I guess your hands being clenched. So I don't know. I think that there is some issues with it, like Sword Art Online kind of issues, where you don't want a company having the ability to plug themselves into your brain. There are a lot of issues with that, but I don't know. I don't think I could hold myself back from trying it if you could literally plug yourself into a game world, regardless of how many movies have said that's a bad idea. So this is what everyone came to hear.
Induced dreams via direct stimulation can contain all the therapeutic content of VR therapy without the need to create realistic graphics or other content.
That's a good point. If you could figure out how to make dreams happen, then having VR becomes useless, because it's like you're telling someone else to make the game for you, and you're just telling them what they need to feel in the game.
Instead, it harnesses the brain's creative power to dream up the situation for itself. Combine that with the insights we gain from parametric therapy systems like Eliza, and you have a complete end-to-end, fully automated system. It should be clear now that this heralds a revolution in how we treat, how we think about mental health. And with mental health challenges on the rise across the globe, it couldn't come at a more crucial time. So, that's why today, right here, I'm announcing Aponia, a new company to make induced dreaming a reality and end human suffering as we know it.
That's not a good term. Every time you hear end human suffering, it's not a good term. Like, humans gonna be suffering. They have emotional range. If you... if you, like, end human suffering, you're ending that emotional range. And it's very the last season of Good Place. If you watch the last season of Good Place, I won't spoil anything for you, but like, mild spoiler alert, maybe. Heaven is not a happy place in Good Place, because everyone's happy, and so they kind of just become mush. They're like, I don't need to do anything, so they don't do anything, and they die. Brain-wise, because they can't die in real life. So that's kind of the thing here. If everyone's just like happy and complacent, no one's going to be doing anything. But in this case, there will be people in charge of that. So they're not going to be doing anything that the people in charge would not want you to do. So you'll end up with like a kind of... It'll be like communism, but the people, the lower class communists will not even know that they're being like oppressed by the people above. Like bad communism. Not, you know, there is ideally good communism, but I don't think we've really seen it before because people gonna peep.
I should note that I remain on good terms with Skanda. In fact, they're a minority investor in this new venture.
So is Apponia a direct competitor now? Because I feel like Apponia would be a good thing for Skanda. No, yeah, minority...
But still, I'm very much going my own way on this. It's no secret that Raynor and I don't always agree. And that's why we mutually decided I should pursue this paradigm shift on my own.
Interesting.
As for details on the venture itself, I don't have anything specific to announce at this time other than that the technology is real and working in prototype form already. But you can be sure to hear more from me on that soon. Thank you.
Yes. As Soren finishes up, people hold up their phones to take photos and videos. This feels more like a press conference than a talk.
I can take a very limited number of audience questions.
The crowd starts to surge towards him. He's going to be mobbed. I plan to find him after the talk isn't going to work. I need to get out of here. Ugh, I don't know what I was thinking coming to this. Whatever my element is, this is not it. I should just get out of here before anybody recognizes me. Except, as I attempt to do that, I happen to spot another man I know. Raynor? He emerges from an elevator in the lobby just as I walk by. Keep my head down, maybe he won't see me? Surely he's busy and distracted, right?
Well, look who's here.
Yeah.
It's like I've seen a ghost.
His, like, face vaguely reminds me of that guy from... Is it Hawaii 5-0? I've never actually watched it. But that, like, main guy... Yao Ren, Raynor, Sai, I'm assuming that's Chai, chairman and CEO of the Skanda Corporation. So he's my boss,
Good
technically.
to see you too, Raynor.
Even though we worked together on the other thing, he probably would have been my boss then as well, I guess.
Where are you these days? I lost track after you left us.
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Well, nowhere is no place to be.
A spacebar?
Come by the new office sometime. You should see where we're taking Eliza.
That sounds vaguely creepy. Sure.
Sure.
I won't be hesitant.
Good. Sarah will set something up for next week.
He glances at the person standing behind and to the side of him, presumably Sarah. She nods almost imperceptibly.
See you then.
I agreed before I could think about it. No, I thought about it. What's this all about? What does Raynor want with me? We didn't interact much at all when I worked there. I didn't think he would even remember me. I've hardly done anything and things feel like I'm tangled mess already. Time to head back to work. I'm like... I haven't recorded like a video in a while, so my throat is not doing a good job for some reason. At least I don't have to think to do my job. Oh, so we'll just go straight in. Okay. I think that's it for this episode. Next episode, we will see what's up with Gabrielle Navarro. So, yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I really love the kind of ideas that this game's putting forth. And, like, I would really love for you guys to talk about it in the comments if you have any input about the... Eliza side of things and the Apponia side of things, or even just like VR/AI helpers in general. Leave a comment down below just I can just comment to that, or if I think that it's something worth talking about in a video, I will bring it up in the next Eliza video. I think it'd be really fun to just start a conversation about this because it's a really cool concept, and a lot of people kind of are wary about talking about it because we don't really know what's going to happen. I feel like all the ideas I've put forth are ideas that a lot of people have already had and are worried about when it comes to AI helpers. Specifically in the health sector, and in that like VR kind of plugging into your brain issue with like Sword Art Online kind of stuff, Matrix kind of stuff, you know, where plugging people in and having a company being able to control you is, there's a lot of implications there that could be bad and could be good. So yeah, leave a comment telling me like what you think about all this, and tell me if you want to see more. Tell me if there are any other kind of visual novel style games like this that you want to see, or any games in general that you think I could enjoy playing, and during, you know, our self-isolation time. So I'll see you there. Bunny out.